Okay, so this is where traffic flow comes in, and this is where I made almost an impossible task for myself. This is what can happen when you don't think about scale and clearances. Because you'll sketch something just to fit the paper, right? It's like, oh, this is cute and compact. But now I'm going to show you where the issues of scale come in. So I've made some little furniture things and cut them out for myself, which I suggest you do. So a standard couch that you would buy takes between is usually 3.5 to 4 feet deep. Like the one that I have is really a deep couch. I like my deep couch because you want like 3 feet for the bum, and then you have like big pushy plush cushions on the back. Like my couch is a very deep couch. It's like 38 inches. It's a very deep couch. um, so a nice big deep couch. So let's say I had this couch here. Where would I put it if I want a nice, deep couch? Well, I kind of want it facing the fireplace, but that means that I'm putting it by the window. I could move it under the window slightly there, and if I had really good glazing on the window, it wouldn't be too big a deal. Might get a bit of a draft in there, but let's say that I have good glazing. I could put it here. It would only just fit. And if it was here, you'd be sitting on this couch and you would walk in and you would just see this couch here, the window here, fireplace here, the window doors, the fireplace. So now I've got a couch. Okay, cool. So this couch is 1, 2, 3 people. That's not a lot. So let's say that I want to have one of those kind of 1.5 chairs. So again, a nice big deep armchair. So here's a nice deep armchair, and it would be really cool to have it here, except it's going to get by the door. So we could move this armchair here. It would be quite cozy. And if you're sitting in this, you're looking out 2 windows, you're looking at the person on the couch, and you're right by the fire, but not too close. You're not going to burn. It would be very nice placement. It would work out pretty well. Well, I'm a reader, so I need bookshelves. Even though I've mostly switched to Kindle books, I still have all my design books and art books and things that I just like to have tactile, plus like all my beading journals and stuff. So, where am I going to put the bookshelf? So, let's say it's like a lower bookshelf. It'll fit just here. It's not going to fit over here. Okay, but what if I want a TV? Well, wall mounts are a great solution. You could put a wall mount TV pretty much anywhere. If you want it to be seen from here and here, though, your wall mount TV is going to have to go here and kind of like swing out to here. And you can get that. You can get a wall mount TV, it'll swing out, and you'd be able to see it from here and from here. But this is very limited space to have guests. And it's awkward visually to have a couch in a corner like this. Not the greatest option. And if you didn't have a wall mount and you wanted to have like a TV stand because you also had like, your PS whatever, I don't even know, whatever, some kind of electronic stuff, you wanted to keep it all together with the TV, well, you could put a TV stand here. Most TV stands that you buy are about 4 feet long, usually. I call it a entertainment console, whatever you want to call it. So you could put it here, and it would fit quite nicely, and then people could see stuff. If the TV was over here, and the bookshelf was like cut up so that it was like an L shape, right? You could do that as well, but it would be really awkward for anybody on the couch to see the TV. So, given those two kind of main pieces of furniture, that's basically how I would be. That's basically what you could fit in there. And then what you can do is you can incorporate a bunch of like stools and stuff and little poofs and ottomans, so that if you did have a bunch of extra people over, you could have like some extra stools. You could have stacking stools, and they could just like double as sort of like something to put a drink on, right? You could have a bunch of little stools, or you could have a coffee table. Oh, I didn't cut out the coffee table. Darn. Well, a coffee table is going to be like this TV stand, only like wider. So you could have a coffee table here. But again, it's about flow, and it's about being able to move around in the space. So like, let's say you're coming in, you walk in. So this is our traffic flow. So you walk in, you go on the couch. Well, if there's a coffee table there, it's in the way. So let's say we're leaving it open. Let's say we're going to have like a little stool here that you can rest a drink on or something. Or maybe you can sit on the stool while you try and get stuff out of the bookshelf. So you're coming in, this is such an awkward door. Door's going to come right up to the bookshelf, which means when the door is open, you can't access the books very well at all. Just lousy design. And this is where things like pocket doors come in. And when you watch the Tiny House Nation, I encourage you to have a look at that on Netflix. You will notice they use what's called pocket doors. Let's just say we spent some money and this was a pocket door. That removes all of this green crap, is now accessible, because a pocket door is a door that slides in a pocket into a hollow in your wall. Your walls, are a certain amount of thickness. So pocket doors are really expensive because they require really good carpentry, and people who can do that in town are in demand. Because it's quite a precise kind of thing. There's mechanisms you have to buy, and it's quite a thing. Let's get rid of this. So now we have pocket doors. That does help quite a bit. So now, with pocket doors, wipe the slate clean. Now, this clearance is only like this. Only need about this much clearance just for someone to walk in. So that frees up all this, which is great. So now I'm going to make that into a pocket door. Okay, that's going to help. So now you can look at it in another way. So if that is a pocket door, and if I decide that I don't need, there's other shape, like your first couch is probably going to be a love seat. A love seat is a 2-seater. So if I wanted to get a love seat and a couch in, which is a standard, like when you buy a suite, I call it buying a suite. When you buy a suite from a furniture store, they'll always try to sell you the love seat and the couch, but I don't actually recommend doing that unless you have a lot of space, because here's why. So let's say I've got a love seat and a couch. Okay, so the idea between, if you had 2 love seats, that makes sense. 2 love seats would be like this. Maybe this one would be narrower. They're usually narrower. So let's say we had 2 love seats. So we could have 2 little mini couches. And people are always trying to be cute and do things diagonally, but it is such a waste of space. You can't afford to do that in a small space. So let's say we had 2 love seats. Because of where this door is in the middle, it's actually a horrible traffic pattern. You can't get a love seat here or a couch here or anything. It's a really, really bad design. Having an entry in the middle seems logical, but in reality, it can lead to just absolute crap for being able to place furniture. And that's the central idea behind going from the inside out. Think about how you use things. Think about the furniture. So I would actually start your living room design, unless you're already done it, and then I want you to just reevaluate it. Start your living room design by drawing out and cutting out furniture, because you're going to use, how are you going to use it? Move the furniture around on the grid paper and kind of figure it out. So now, because I'm starting to put furniture in, I'm like, this door, not only does this need to be a pocket door, but I need to relocate this door. This door is ridiculous. It's messing up my traffic pattern entirely. So let's say that this door from the interior of the house is here. Now this is a solid wall. Okay? And this is a pocket door. And I would sketch that better. Now, this is a much better traffic flow because I can come in here and now all of this is available to me for space-wise. It just makes a huge difference. I'm going to show you why. So let's say you did want a full couch in here and you want this big comfy couch. Well, it's awesome. With a pocket door, the door's not swinging open and hitting the couch. It's not swinging open and hitting my bookshelves, which I decided are going to be low. Or if I put a TV stand here, I still wouldn't. But it's not going to hit whatever I put here. So you walk in, you can just plunk down on the couch. And like, that is totally awesome. You can have a big, cozy 1.5 chair too. Or, so the 1.5 chair could go over here. Now, you're slightly impinging a little bit of the exit here, but there are 2 doors and a French door. So it's still decent. You're going to get a bit of a draft, but still, it's nice. This person can still see and talk to these 3 people. Now, if you want to get a love seat in, because you want to cram a ton of people in here, you can get a love seat in. Heck, you could even get another couch in. Look, you could have 2 big couches. But I wouldn't recommend it. That seems kind of crazy. Mind you, I did that in my place. You could also have a love seat here with like a nice little stool, and the stool could have like a tray on it that you take off, and then it would be additional seating. There's lots of things like that on like IKEA and stuff. So your 1.5 chairs here, your nice, big couches here. You walk in, you can go in, and you're in like this little area. And you could have your bookshelf here if it was low enough. But again, you would have to have a little more room. So pretend this isn't a TV stand. Pretend this is a bookshelf. You could have a bookshelf here. Now, as far as TV goes, you could put a wall-mounted TV above a fireplace if you have spent the money to make sure that that wall is... there's this special drywall that they use behind it anyway, and then if your contractor builds it properly, they can build clearances above it, so you can actually have a TV above a fireplace if it's built properly. You can design that. So I'm giving you $6.2 million for this, so you can pretty much have anything you want. So let's say that the TV was here. This is still a really small living room. It's almost like a hygge kind of living room kind of deal. And I wouldn't have... And even if you had the TV here, this person can't see it very well, and this person can't see it very well. The only people who can really see the TV are here. You can't have a TV here. It's not the greatest. So this is where you have to kind of look at. This is when people are actually buying furniture. They're very limited by the actual house that they live in, but you're not limited. You can like have furniture and then design a house around it. So if you wanted to have like 4 couches, because you're going to have massive parties in this living room of yours, fine. But I'm going to show you some different furniture that sometimes people forget about. So let's say instead of a big couch that takes up a ton of space, you still want to be able to lie down sometimes. You can have what's called a chaise. So a chaise longue is sort of like, it's got sort of like this. The really classic one would be, there would be a roll top here, like this. And then it would be like this. And it would have like, and you would, this sort of cushy round thing here that you lie on. So there's the person, and they're chilling and relaxing on the chaise longue. So it only has one arm, basically. It's a one-armed couch. And they generally are a little shorter than a couch, and they're generally a little narrower than a couch. So if you look at the couch versus the chaise is a little shorter, because it's kind of meant to be like an extended seat. The arm is still big, but there's no back on it, all right? So a chaise is actually a really good compromise kind of piece in a small space. And here's another reason for a chaise. You could have a couple of chaises. if you need your space to be super convertible, if you had like two chaises and you sort of really were, you had them on wheels, and I actually have a friend who did this, because him and his wife, they have just two chaises, and they actually have them in like this in their place. So one of them, they're big readers, so one chaise faces this way, and then the other chaise will face this way, and they have like, they literally each have their own chaise to like read in or whatever. And then when they're watching movies and stuff, everything's on wheels, so they can just move the chaises next to each other. Say this TV's here, they can move that. And when they have people over, they can move their chaises so that they form like an L-shaped seating arrangement. So you can have like all kinds of cool stuff like that. You could also have a bunch of different cozy, comfy 1.5 chairs, which would be what I would like, because I think people just like to curl up in chairs. So I would have like maybe one couch, but I would most likely have like a chaise, if not two. And then I would have like a whole bunch of different cozy chairs. I'd have like a great big cozy chair here, another big cozy chair here, and maybe an extra chaise. Like, this might just be short enough. Maybe I would have a shorter chaise so that it wasn't there. But I would definitely have those. Or I would have a chaise here, because the arm of the chaise can go either way. So you could have a chaise here, a chair here, and another chaise here. And then you would have a ton of seating, right? And you could move it all around. So the point I'm trying to get at here, this is very, very long, is that you're better off designing and like looking up furniture that you like, and looking up roughly the dimensions of the furniture, and then drawing it and cutting it out. Take all the furniture, work from the inside out. Do you want a ton of books? Well, a bookshelf is going to, most of them are going to be 18 inches deep. 18 inches, 12 inches is 1 foot. So it's 18 inches and a half of these. So a bookshelf is going to be out. So it's going to be like however many feet long, and then a half, right? That's how much space a bookshelf is going to take up. That's a big, long bookshelf. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 foot long bookshelf. That's pretty long. So when you go to design stuff, start with the furniture, because it's going to make it easier for you to like design something with good traffic flow. That is my advice on this assignment. That's the traffic flow and the furniture and the living room design.